and welcome to our coverage this evening of Northern Ireland's penultimate group game in Malta, and a clear mission for Tanya Oxtoby and her team: secure victory and book your place in the playoffs for Euro 2025. Malta may be ranked significantly lower than Northern Ireland, but the side who are 87th in the world managed to frustrate them in Belfast. That 0-0 draw, still the only point that Malta have picked up in these qualifiers. And in their final home game, they are plotting a shock if they can manage it. It's very warm, 32 degrees heat, feeling even hotter down at pitch side. It could prove to be a tricky occasion, but everyone cheering on the girls in green will be hoping that that is not the case. Their manager has asked them to be ruthless. She wants job done tonight to take some of the pressure off ahead of Bosnia on Tuesday. And as the players, accompanied by the mascots, make the way onto the pitch, a sense of calm before the occasion. Can Northern Ireland take a big step closer to a second consecutive Euros? 90 minutes will give us a better idea of that. We will bring you the team news in just a moment's time, but first we can pause for the national anthems. See from the players, they're certainly feeling the heat. Will they be able to handle the pressure? I'm Michael Clark. Alongside me for this one is Northern Ireland's international centurion Julie Nelson, as the officials greet the players involved. We'll get Julie's thoughts in just a moment's time. The referee looking after things for us is Cansu Teriaki of Turkey. She is assisted by Sedefat Khan and Merve Turan. Melek Dakan is the fourth official. Teriaki recently officiated at the Women's Under-17 Euro Championships in Sweden. She was awarded the semi-final clash between Spain and France back in May, and as you might know, Spain won that one and went on to beat England in the final. Appropriate little tidbit of information given the weekend ahead. Spain versus England, but that is Sunday. This is Friday night, and a late chance for some last-minute inspiration from the manager of Northern Ireland as her players get into their huddle. Malta, led by their inspirational captain herself, a Centurion, Stefania Farrugia, recently got to 100 caps against Bosnia, and that's been marked in front of their home fans tonight. Very proud time for her. And Northern Ireland's captain, as we know, Laura Rafferty. The pleasantries exchanged. Kick-off fast approaching, and just before we give you that team news, well, in fact, let's do it now. And we can see the Maltese team, Patricia Abeyer, continuing in goals with Janice Schwereb, who shut out Northern Ireland in April, still out and recovering from an ACL injury. Farrugia is in the heart of that defence, and 20-year-old Hayley Bugeya will naturally merit attention. She plays her club football for Inter Milan. Maria Farrugia, incidentally, through the middle of their front line, the only player to score for them in this campaign when she gave them the lead before they were eventually overturned. Last time out, Northern Ireland's team, only 4 players keep their place from the April encounter, namely Jackie Burns, Rebecca McKenna, Laura Rafferty and Nadine Caldwell. Some big decisions have been made in their attack. Simone McGill and Lauren Wade dropping to the bench. There's a nice gesture there as they've given her a jersey and some flowers to go with that cap she's already been handed. And the other important thing about the Northern Ireland team news, Kerry Beattie spearheading the attack. All 3 of her international goals to date have come from the bench. Is this the night that changes? Julie Nelson, great to be in your company again. A big night for both teams. Malta want a good send-off in front of their home crowd. Northern Ireland, well, as I've said, have some big plans ahead of them. How much are you looking forward to it, and how much do you think they are going to deliver?
Yeah, it's great to see a good mix of youth and experience through the team, especially the youth in the forward line, and hopefully, Northern Ireland can put on a good performance. I know they were disappointed with the result against Malta last time out, and they'll be out to make amends for that.
Trying to get off to a quick start and forcing Malta backwards right away. Certainly the game in Belfast was an exercise in patience without the payoff at the end of it. People still bemoaning the disallowed goal, that Simone McGill was left scratching her head wondering why on earth that whistle was blown.
Yeah, absolutely, and looking back on it, the goal should have stood, but unfortunately these things happen in football, and I know the girls were disappointed that they weren't clinical within the game, and I know that's something that's been spoken about this week that they're looking to improve on in tonight's game.
Northern Ireland fans making themselves heard. Not a bad holiday destination, Malta. Perfect excuse to go out there for a few days and certainly improve the tanning situation. Weather slightly better than back home. Is that a surprise? As Louise McDaniel squints to try and see where this throw-in's going to arrive. Neatly taken, and that's a nice pivot there. Kerry Halliday finding the space. Northern Ireland edging themselves up the pitch. Northern Ireland will be expected to have a lot of the ball. It'll be all about what they do with it that matters most. Little slip there, however. Could they be carved open? Farrugia And a chance here. And the post spares Northern Ireland. That could have been a disastrous start. And Bugeya, with all of her quality, would expect to score. And she cannot believe that she has not.
Yeah, good break from Malta there. Sloppy to give the ball away in that area. And, you know, Malta are unlucky, just hitting the post there. But as you say, Bugeya would be expected to score in that circumstance.
Burns could only watch on as that went past her. Farrugia, great awareness from her to get her head up, and selflessness as well to tee up her teammate for what they believe would be a certain goal. They're on the attack again. Shaky start for Northern Ireland, and Burns makes a comfortable save, but you can see right away she's trying to calm those in front of her down. She feels they've been left very exposed, and I have to say she's right.
Yeah, Malta look to be the stronger team at the moment, so Northern Ireland will be looking to get the ball down and settle, and Jackie will try and control that from the back.
Well, another careless touch, and yet another attack from Malta. They are starting with real intent at the moment. And it did seem like a little bit of a breakdown in communication between McKenna and Burns, but nobody nipping in behind, so it didn't matter in the end.
Yeah, it's a couple of times Northern Ireland have looked to play out from the back, and you know there's been a few slippages, and they've given the ball away, and you know they'll be looking to improve on that.
Shauna Zammit with the attempt there, which off balance prevented her from getting the full amount of purchase that she hoped for, much to the relief of Burns. Fast-paced start all the way to the home team. Farrugia hitting the attack in the header, tipped over. Good reactions from Burns. She had to stretch to reach it.
Yeah, again on that occasion Jackie's opted to go long after the first couple, and you know we've lost the first phase of the ball, and Malta are on the attack again, and a good save from Jackie to tip the ball over the bar.
Good header from Kaylee Willis, able to create that little bit of space for herself. Plenty of movement in the centre there, and McKenna will happily let her goalkeeper collect that and bowl it out. Chance for the visitors to have a foray forwards, but that is a wasteful pass. Just feels like one or two need a moment or two to compose themselves.
Yeah, need a few more minutes maybe to get themselves settled into the game. Just noticing there that Rebecca Holloway seems to be playing quite a bit higher up the pitch. I would have expected her to be in the middle of the back four, so it'll be interesting to see just when we get a better picture of the full pitch to see the exact shape that Northern Ireland are playing.
Well, a glimpse at both managers, Tanya Oxtoby and in charge of Malta, 48-year-old former international footballer for Italy, Manuela Tesse. Took over in January of last year. To date, 13 matches under her watch, 7 victories. And in her own playing career, 87 caps for her country. 4-time Scudetti winner as well. Wonderful footballer, and someone I believe whose company you've enjoyed before, Julie.
Yeah, I spent some time with her at a UEFA workshop last summer, and you know, a great person to learn from, and as you say, you know, a fantastic playing career, and also the first Italian female to get the pro license through the Italian FA, so it just shows the calibre of coach that Malta have been able to attract.
Does explain what certainly the Maltese FA feel is a positive time for them, the Nations League promotion that they enjoyed as well, and it's not going to be plain sailing. We know as you move up through it gets even more difficult, but considering their standing traditionally to where they are now, they've come quite a long way.
Yeah, they sailed through their group when they were in the C League, as you said, Michael, and earned promotion into the B League. And there is still that kind of difference in levels within the different leagues, and more so in women's football than in the men's football. And they've struggled a little bit coming up into the B League and conceded 2 kind of last-minute winners against Bosnia. But I think from what I've read and what I've seen, that they're happy with their performances. Just maybe not the results at this stage, but a great learning experience for them to be in the B League.
Clip of the heels there, bringing about the free kick, despite the protestations of Willis as she takes on refreshments. The summer is always such a busy period of time, a number of players on the move at the moment, and 1 or 2 trying to find the move.
Yeah, it's a great time for these players to put themselves in the shop window. The likes of Jackie Burns there, who's unfortunate not to have a club given what's happened with Reading, and I'm sure she'll not be short of inquiries given the level of performances that she puts in with Northern Ireland in the game with Reading last season as well.
Very crowded on that side of the pitch as Northern Ireland force the error. And McKenna surveys the space around her, looking for a bit of movement. Finally gets the charge towards her she was hoping for. Walking a bit of a tightrope there herself along the touchline. And oh dear, that is a horrible mistake, and Northern Ireland have gone in front. Well, they've yet to test the keeper, but Lippmann has managed to do it herself through the most unfortunate of circumstances. Northern Ireland lead, and Malta can hardly believe what's happened.
Yeah, looked like a bit too much force in that backward pass, and the goalkeeper's not anywhere ready for it, and the bounce was taking it past the goalkeeper, and very unfortunate for Malta, but Northern Ireland will be delighted to get the ball in the back of the net.
Well, after a wobbly start, Northern Ireland have got a goal, and we have to say, in fairness, against the run of play, a horrible moment for an experienced player in Lippmann, playing the pass before she looked up, and her goalkeeper Abayer could do nothing about it. But that might settle some nerves for the travelling supporters.
Yeah, it's always good to get the advantage and get the goal, especially as you said, Michael, against the run of play, and hopefully that helps settles Northern Ireland down into the flow of the game.
Ten minutes gone, and Northern Ireland with a goal advantage. Let's see just how that might influence their approach. I don't think it's going to deter Malta from how they've set out. Little casual there. Ferrugia, accomplished player, trying to dictate things, but for a better pass, could easily have been in.
Yeah, again, Northern Ireland giving the ball away in a dangerous area, and Malta, looking to capitalise on that.
Maria Ferrugia, who was a teammate of Cara Hamilton's last season at Lewis, previously at Sunderland and Durham too. The Malta squad predominantly do still play their football within their country, but I think more and more we're seeing players moving further afield and getting bigger moves. Yeah. Maybe just alluding to the growth of the game in general.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's them, being promoted up into the B League, gives them a bit more publicity, I suppose, and clubs across Europe, those players will be on the radar of those clubs now as well, and they'll be keeping an eye out. They've got the likes of Bogesia there that's playing at Inter Milan, and one of the centre midfielders, the number 8, she's just left Sampdoria, so they have players that are playing in Italy as well, and that just shows the improvements that they're making.
Yes, that's Rachel Cuscieri, who Has also played for Anderlecht, PSV and Lazio. Not a bad CV.
Yeah, that's not too shabby, that.
McKenna. First opportunity really for Northern Ireland to enjoy a few touches of the ball. You can see how quickly they're set upon, and that has led to that mistake, which has given Malta an opportunity to send a few players forwards. They are certainly making plenty of noise, the home fans, to try and encourage their team on, as you would expect. Nothing coming of that move. Brenda Borg there just jogging back. She set up Perugia's goal against Bosnia. Well, you can hear the shouts. They are trying to encourage Casey Howe on, and we know the trickery she possesses. It's a fine ball in from Casey Howe. Malta's turn to do a bit of defending, but short-lived as the pass to McDaniel had a little too much on it.
Yeah, a good ball in from Casey Howe there, and as you say, Michael, you know, Casey's strong off both feet, so she poses a massive challenge for any defender going up against her, because you don't know what way to show her, whether to show her under a right foot or a left, and a good ball in, but well cleared by Malta.
Nothing like that little hit of adrenaline you get as well when the ball arrives and everyone's saying your name. Us commentators can only imagine, but Casey Howe clearly relishing the moment to try and take on the fullback.
Yeah, that's a player of Casey's calibre and her talents. That's the kind of picture she wants, a 1v1 in a wide area going up against her fullback.
She'll be hoping more chances like that to follow. Northern Ireland with the bodies back here to defend, but the possession presented to them a bit easier than maybe even they would have imagined. Halliday getting her head up, trying to drive the attack. You can see the idea there from Casey Howe. Malta dealt with the danger well, and now trying to pose a threat of their own. Bugeya, still she has it, and that's excellent defending, and it's going to be a free kick in the end, as Perugia, so keen to retrieve the ball, left a little bit in there, and I think caught Dugdale in the process.
Yeah, it was well done by Rebecca McKenna in the first instance, and then good cover as well by Rachel Dugdale to get across, to get her body in the way, and as you say, then the forwards clipped her and she's able to win the free.
That's what you want from your defenders. That'll merit a pat on the back, winning the two challenges and then getting the free kick after she was barged over.
Yeah, again, Northern Ireland opting to go long here after the first couple.
That's certainly touch-tight marking there. Kerry Beattie not complaining. And her hard work has helped her team along the way here as they've earned a corner off Zamet. Well, just a little bit of organising going on from Abayer. I'm sure she's so disappointed in the manner in which the goal came about, trying her best to stop Northern Ireland here as Holloway readies her delivery. Nice deep ball into the box, pinballing around, and Oh, he wasn't far away actually from making contact there, but the keeper, to your credit, reacted very quickly.
Yeah, it was well dealt with by the goalkeeper there, and a good ball in from Rebecca Holloway, and just maybe mistiming our runs there and slightly too early.
Holiday, nice close control. Not lacking any confidence, just losing her footing there, unfortunately for her. Straight back in again, great attitude. Becca McKenna saying, "You're not getting up that way."
Yeah, the game seems to be a lot more open compared to the last game at Windsor Park. Both teams are, enjoying spells of possession here, and it's a much more free-flowing game than previously.
Which is quite the surprise in the searing heat. You wouldn't necessarily think, do you know what we should do when we're melting? Go hammer and tongs.
Yeah, well, it just shows the confidence that Malta have at home. They're, as you said at the start, they're out to finish off these two games on a high and finish as high up the group as they can, and this performance has shown what they're looking to do.
Northern Ireland with not just the objective of winning this to get a playoff place in their minds as well, but second spot very much up for grabs.
Yeah, obviously there's lots of permutations kind of still to happen over the course of the next couple of days within Northern Ireland's group and the other groups within the B League. But if Northern Ireland can secure 6 points out of the two games, then that should be enough to secure them a seeded place going into the first round of the playoffs.
And yes, you did indeed hear Julie correctly. First round of the playoffs, because there is a second round as well. So, in theory, once you get there, 4 games to try and reach the Euros. UEFA have somehow made football even more complicated.
Yeah, it's not just quite as straightforward as back in 2021, whenever we only had one playoff to face.
No chickens will be counted at this point in time anyway. Nice pass from Kusheri. Farrugia. And Burns will happily invite those all day.
Yeah, Jackie will be happy just to take this thing out of the game at the minute.
Tempo just dipping a little bit, as is to be expected as Northern Ireland, I think, would like to tease Malta onto them a little bit more and see if they can stretch them and get away in behind. Lipman, whose own goal stands between the sides at the moment, conceding the free kick there for rather physical challenge into the back of McDaniel.
Yeah, good play by Louise there, getting her body in the way, and as you say, Lipman's just come right through the back of her, and an easy free kick for Northern Ireland.
Tanya Oxtoby's team seeming a lot more settled as we head towards 21 minutes than those first few minutes where they were definitely trying to find their feet.
Yeah, I think the goals definitely helped them to settle.
Handball decision gone against Halliday there. This her 7th cap, earned her first in the 4-0 win in December against Albania, totting them up rightly since then.
Yeah, there's games coming thick and fast now with this new Nations League format, so it's a good opportunity to get a good number of caps on the board.
You did well not to say, in my day we had to wait for matches.
Could be talking all night about that, Michael.
Malta with the throw in. I think think a few players expected that to bounce out initially. Beatty's going to try her best to get onto that, and her persistence drew the challenge, which earns the throw. Dugdale getting help from McDaniel. I'm sure Louise McDaniel is delighted to get the opportunity from the start, especially when in the last squad she was a late addition, and she hasn't just earned her place in this squad, she's also forced her way into the starting lineup.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's had to bide her time and wait for Tanya to give her an opportunity, as you said, even to break into the squad. You know, last minute call up last time due to an injury, and come in here. She's off the back of good form, playing for Cliftonville in the league, and she's obviously brought that into this camp, and Tanya selected her based on how she's trained.
Saeed. Oh dear. Dugdale's been through the wars. It'll be head, shoulders, knees and toes for her. Everything's got a bruise on it.
The joys of playing as a centre back.
Well, the expression on her face would barely tell you that she's miffed, but I don't think you'd be delighted with that if you were on the end of it.
No, but that's Rachel. She's always smiling. You very rarely see Rachel without a smile on her face.
Now, if that happened to your Ashley Hutton, what would we have heard next? Can we even share that?
Wouldn't want to divulge that.
Organising her teammates around her. I think the fourth official is just saying, can we get on with the football, please? It's not really time for a drinks break yet, but as you can see, they're not really that worried. Well, they're just going to go ahead with it now. Initially, it looked as if she was asking people to step back away, but maybe they've had a look and realised a cooling break is needed. It is that warm, in fairness, so it probably is a wise idea.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it was maybe a scheduled water break, but it's halfway through the first half, so yeah, somebody's made the decision that they're having one.
A sign of how quickly the first half has passed by, that maybe even the officials didn't realise the time.
Yeah, it's been all action in the first half. You know, there's been chances at both ends, more so at the Northern Ireland end, but that doesn't matter whenever it's the ball's going on the back of the Malta goal.
And the scoreline will clearly please Tanya Oxtoby, but in terms of what you've seen outside of that, do you think she'll be happy enough, or is there still room for improvement?
I think she'll be asking for improvements, especially whenever we're trying to build through the phases. There's been a lot of possession sort of given up within her own third, and you know, that's allowed Malta to get a few chances at goal. So she'll be looking for us to tighten up on that, and then, you know, get some more composure going into the final third and get more balls into the box and get shots off.
So play resumes. Malta take their throw in, and Northern Ireland take back possession. Just took a little too long there, looking up and around. Ball into the box, snuffed out. Kept that in. Rice led up there for a moment. Said did well to cover. I think it was slightly telegraphed that time. Borg knew what was coming, but every time McKenna sees a bit of space in front of her, she wants to charge forward, doesn't she? The player that's just moved to Birmingham City. Congratulations to her on that 2-year deal that she's signed after making the move from Charlton.
Yeah, Rebecca's full of energy and will be up and down that right side for the whole game.
Maltese captain not able to get the cross in she was hoping for again. Dugdale sticking to her task. Hooked into the area. And again, Northern Ireland had the bodies back to ensure that Jackie Burns would have a comfortable enough time of it. Offside flag up there, so Malta getting on with a free kick. Their bench asking for a bit more urgency. Some nice passes from them there. Bugaya. Certainly better from the home team. Northern Ireland able to get the foot in. McParlin making the challenge. Caldwell finding Halliday. She was knocked over there, but advantage permitted by the referee. And in the end, there just wasn't a lot of room for Rebecca Holloway to try and slalom through those bodies.
Yeah, Malta did well to get 2 defenders across. I think we're doing well at winning the ball back, but then, you know, maybe need some more options whenever the player on the ball wins it, you know, to pass it on. Even Rebecca Holloway running up the pitch there, it looked like she was looking for some movement ahead of her, and that wasn't happening.
Well, the dedicated handful of Northern Ireland fans appreciating the work rate of Katie Howe as she charged across and made the challenge. Bit of a lax pass there, not helping Halliday out. Beattie was just slightly off her mark. Halliday getting her foot in, and Beattie now to Howe. Nice idea. Kasheri. Caught dawdling. Halliday just wants to see a green shirt around her. They're arriving. And Malta, well, they want a free kick. Northern Ireland are going to keep playing. And the referee will take a look now with the ball out of play.
Hard to see what happened there.
Did seem initially a little innocuous, but trust the reaction of the player in that circumstance. And medical team on, trying to assess the scale of any potential injury. Bugaya. Whether it's her ankle, I'm not so sure, but they're going to continue to have a look and see what they can do, whilst Northern Ireland will take on further refreshments.
Yeah, it looks like maybe her foot got stood on or something there, just as Nadine Caldwell followed through with the challenge. It was hard to see from the angle of the camera, but she looks to be in pain anyway. Taking
no chances with Bugaya, who was the first woman to score a hat-trick in competitive football for Malta. That came in a 4-0 win in Euros qualifying against Georgia back in November 2020. Also managing to become the youngest female player to net 3 goals in a Euro qualifier. At the time, she was only 16 years old and 250 days. So now age 20. She's been on the international stage for a while, but it's not looking good for her at the moment. And a nice touch from Halliday to go over and try and console her, but as you can see, she's very emotional at the moment and obviously in a lot of pain.
Yeah, it looks to be in a lot of pain there, and Malta definitely want to lose her goals from the team, but it's not looking like it's going to be able to carry on at this stage.
Well, for the time being, they are a player down. They want to do as much as they can to avoid having to take her off, but it might not be a choice at this stage. Stefania Ferrugia. Oh, great ball inside, just slipped onto the studs of McDaniel, who is perhaps a little casual trying to turn on it.
Yeah, the pitch looks to be a bit quite short and maybe bobbly, and you know, Louise would be used to playing in the 3G surfaces, so maybe just took a wee bobble that she wasn't quite expecting.
There is joy to be had from that sort of pass, just trying to break through, a bit of pace and really test Malta's back line, who, as strange as it might sound considering they are a goal down, haven't been tested that often.
No, not so far. I think there's been maybe one ball into the box from open play so far from Northern Ireland, and I don't think the keeper's really had a shot to save in open play, so Northern Ireland will definitely be looking to improve on that going forward.
Mind you, we should know about being patient. Only 2 of Northern Ireland's 16 goals before this game tonight, scored during Tanya Oxtoby's reign, have come in the first half, so it is typically a second half affair with Oxtoby, so maybe that's where more of the goals will come from. They've obviously got one to their name so far, and a wee bit of time in this first half to try and extend that if at all possible. Just those final balls will need a little bit of work. They've overcooked it on more than one occasion, and there is, as we expected, confirmation of substitution is going to be required, and Hayley Bugea, we wish her well. She is off through injury, and Maja Lucia, who recently won the Croatian top flight with ZNK Osijek in May, comes on. She too may well be looking for a club upon the expiration of her contract. Celebrated her birthday last weekend, onto the pitch now to make an impact earlier than she might have imagined. And on the ball right away. Beattie battling and pivoting, playing it to McDaniel. Super run from her, and Kuscheri with the challenge which had frustration written all over it, gives Northern Ireland a free kick in quite a promising area.
Yep, good play from Kerry Beattie there to hold the ball up and to get through those 2 challenges and to play it to Louise, and good play from Louise. She's, you know, tricky player, hard to get the ball off, and the midfielder there's just taking one for the team.
Well, Malta continuing the conversation about what sort of wall they might wish to assemble. Just the 2 players put over there for the time being. You can see the queue that they've lined up in the centre as Northern Ireland's players arrive. They weren't ready for the short delivery in. And it's a very good save. Can someone turn it over the line? Not right away. Well cleared by Malta. High, keeping the pressure on. It's a really good ball in. Oh, and a big chance. And one that Rebecca Holloway will probably feel she could have done better with.
Yeah, 2 really good chances. First one looked to be from Rachel Dugdale, and then Rebecca Holloway's completely free at the back post there, but looks like she's maybe just headed it wide.
Well, the short free kick was a nice routine. It seemed to catch everybody out. Good reactions from the Malta goalkeeper, Abeyer. to deny Dugdale, and then it just managed to land behind the stretching Nadine Caldwell. She tried her very best to flick it in.
Yeah, positive play from Northern Ireland on the set piece there to do something different and work it short first. And seemed to catch Malta off guard.
That challenge is going to bring about the first booking. I don't think the Turkish official liked the fact that studs were showing there, despite the fact it was more of a stretching challenge than a cynical one, but Charlene Zammit has been cautioned.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too happy with that being given against me.
Well, if anyone else manages to catch her, Louise McDaniel might start taking those tackles personally. Both Kasheri and Zammit in the last couple of minutes. Also an indicator, I think, of McDaniel's growing influence in the game. She's getting more off the ball. That will naturally bring about a few more challenges. That pass just played beyond her. Beattie tried to use her strength there, but was outnumbered. Maria Farrugia driving her teammates, her fellow internationals forward there, but just didn't happen. McKenna doing really well, tidying up, not giving anyone a chance at all.
No, good play again from Rebecca McKenna there. I think she was caught late on the first challenge, but got back up and won the ball back again.
It's going to be Anne-Marie Said with the throw-in. The Bosnia match was her 50th cap. Proud milestone for her. High foot there, and that's why the free kick has been given. Rafferty now of Rangers placing the ball and getting on with things as we have just a bit more than 5 minutes of regulation time remaining in this first half. We will have a little bit of additional time with the cooling break and the injury stoppage for Bugeya. Doesn't matter how many times I see Jackie Burns, I'll never completely feel comfortable with the goalkeeper being as relaxed as she is, dandering out of her box, but total composure from her as usual.
Yeah, Jackie's very, very composed whenever she's building play from the back. I know a few people it makes them nearly have a heart attack whenever they watch her play, but you know, she's more than confident that she's able to do it and does it really well.
Well, Willis was the player brought down. Vanishing spray looking more like shaving foam, but in place as Malta try to threaten Burns. Northern Ireland hoping to protect their goal advantage. It is the full-back Said who wants to try and test the Northern Ireland keeper here. Lots of interested onlookers as well, fighting for scrap should it come to it. It will be Said. And Burns knew exactly where that was going and wasn't too phased.
No, Jackie looked like she had it covered.
The customary tip of the crossbar, just to show you've given it full consideration. Goalkeeping 101, but not a sweat in her brow. Might be one there though. Played into a bit of a precarious position with two players putting the squeeze on. That was an important intervention by McParlin. And Beattie What can she conjure up? Well, she saw the run of Halliday, just not able to find it. And not for the first time, that persistence across the more attacking-minded players of Northern Ireland, bringing about a mistake in the clearance from Malta and allowed Northern Ireland to continue to squeeze them.
Yeah, it's much better play from Northern Ireland in the final third as the game's developed. They seem to have shown more confidence, more composure. I think they'll just be looking to get some more shots in and goal.
And the comfort a second goal would bring. As you can see, a healthy crowd packed into the main stand. No need for jackets in Malta.
No, it looks like it's definitely a warm night in Malta compared to here.
Just about 20 minutes away from the nation's capital of Valletta. This is Centenary Stadium. This was closing in on Burns there, just keeping her honest as Northern Ireland have the throw in. Malta's bench not looking too perturbed for the time being. Northern Ireland will be happy if the score stays as it is, and they can avoid any scares before they get in for the break.
Yeah, I think both teams will be relatively happy with their first team performances. Obviously there's a 1-0 deficit for Malta, but you know, they've shown glimpses and they've been confident on the ball and they've had opportunities to score a goal. And Northern Ireland likewise, you know, were slow to start the game and grew into the game and have looked a lot more confident as the first half's developed.
Now Bayer ushering her teammates higher up the pitch as she puts distance on her kick. Dugdale in and challenging. Borg given the go, trying to free up Willis, the 21-year-old attacker. Just the 2 minutes. Thought it might have been a little longer, actually.
Yeah, I was surprised at that. I would expect maybe 3 or 4.
Well, we are into those now anyway. Borg winning her header. Harlan could so easily have squeezed through there. It was well defended by the hosts. BD wanted to find Halliday, very nearly did. Lippman just about able to get the ball away from her. Maria Farrugia seems to be dropping deeper and deeper as the half's gone on.
Yeah, I think she's just trying to get on the ball. She looks the type of player that always wants to be on the ball, and that's making she's going to have to drop a bit deeper maybe to get on it.
Not sure if anyone's keeping count about the amount of planes overhead.
All those lucky people getting to go to Malta for their holidays.
Anyone that thought the Oval was bad in terms of a flight path. Ricocheting around. That is the end of the first half. Referee bringing play to a close. And Northern Ireland will be pretty pleased, I would imagine. An own goal, the only goal so far, as Lipman put past her own goalkeeper in the 9th minute. And just before we head to a break, Julie Nelson, your thoughts on what you've seen in the opening 45?
Yeah, from a Northern Ireland perspective, they'll be happy to go in 1-0 up. You know, it's unfortunate for Malta, it's an own goal, but it doesn't matter for Northern Ireland. The ball's gone in the back of the net, and they've grown into the game as the half's developed, and I'm sure they'll be confident to come out and have a strong second half performance and look to get some more shots at target and hopefully score a couple more goals. And
with some very experienced players on Northern Ireland's bench, I said at the beginning, big decision that Tanya Oxtoby's made. Do you think we're going to see them early in the second half, or what do you think is going to be her approach?
She'll probably leave the team as it is for now. I don't see any reason to change anyone unless somebody's picked up a niggle, but I'm sure we'll definitely see changes in the second half with a lot of strength and depth on the bench and a lot of experience to bring on, and I'm sure we'll see some of those players in the second half.
Okay, we'll leave you with some highlights from the first half. The half-time score is Malta 0, Northern Ireland 1. Well, welcome back. We are almost ready for the start of the second half. Northern Ireland leading by 1-0 at Centenary Stadium against Malta. And remember, victory will assure Northern Ireland of their place in the Euro 2025 playoffs. The draw for those actually taking place next week, so not long to wait. Before then, a game for Northern Ireland against Bosnia, which comes at home on Tuesday. We will have live coverage of that for you. And Julie Nelson, the players managing the heat so far in their customary huddle. Is there much really said in those things? I'm always curious. Is it just encouragement, or does much come out of it?
Yeah, more encouragement and just reinforcement of what's been discussed at half time, just to make sure everybody's on the same page going forward into the second half.
Doesn't appear to be any changes that we can detect at the moment.
No, it just looks like a switch of sides from Kerry Halliday and Casey Howe at the moment.
Well, the referee gets us back underway again. Northern Ireland with an urgent start to the half, knowing what a second goal would mean for them. McDaniel, right idea, just not quite the execution there as the pass was blocked off. McKenna. Defeat for Malta would confirm their relegation as well. These Euro qualifiers, the standings in the group also impact your Nations League seedings too, which is one of those interesting additions that you eventually wrap your head around.
Yeah, another added complexity. But in this phase, there's only automatic promotion relegation, so there's no playoff to determine what league you're in. It's only for qualification for the final tournament.
I'm glad you're across all the details, Julie. It always assists matters, never in doubt either. They used to say football was a simple game. It's increasingly more complicated for some reason. Caldwell, great endeavour there from her. Good strength shown as well. Her teammates weren't able to continue the momentum that she created, but maybe they will here. McParlin, Halliday stepping into traffic a little bit. Stefania Farrugia. Lucia, first half substitute. Malta get the decision, they will have the throw in. Well, she can look down the line all she wants, but it's not something you see too often, that.
No, I'm not sure it actually came into play. It looked like she just kind of threw it straight out. Yeah, she's getting another go at it.
That was what that winding of the wrist gesture was. I'll have the ball back, please. I'm sure there's method to her madness underneath it all. Anyway, Northern Ireland don't have time to be trying to work out what went wrong for Malta there. They have to defend here as Farrugia's stabbed pass through is played out by Holloway. She's been on her best behaviour so far, booked in 4 of her last 7 internationals.
Yeah, I suppose she knows she has to be, or she'll be out of Tuesday's game.
Someone has to make the challenges, I'm sure would be the rebuttal she would offer if that was pointed in her direction. Well, that wasn't a very convincing kick there from Burns. She had options around her, but nonetheless, Dugdale doing her job well, making the challenge.
Yeah, it looks like Malta have changed tact slightly and are starting to press a bit higher from those goal kicks. They were ready to go as if Jackie had played it short.
Plenty of conversations down pitch side. That's offside though. They couldn't conspire to keep themselves the right side of the last player. Kasheri maybe wasn't expecting the pass either.
Yeah. Just hit straight off.
Dugdale did well to get there. Lucia was looking to rob the ball away from her. McParlin had Kasheri behind her, but look at that for a pass, and it gives Northern Ireland a chance to stride forwards here. Holloway, now Howe, what can she do? Cutting in and going for something spectacular, and in the end it didn't pan out how she had envisaged.
No, but again, looking to attack on her 1v1, and you know, like she's trying to get a shot off, just probably didn't go exactly how she wanted it to go.
Burns hoisting it well to McKenna. Trying to draw the defenders out. It's a very good challenge on Caldwell by Said. Caldwell back into the starting 11 after being a late sub in the 2-1 defeat to Portugal at Mourneview Park. And what has been one of Northern Ireland's best performances of the campaign, despite the defeat. They're looking for a chance on goal here. And I just wonder, had she a little more time there? Taking the shot quickly. Halliday put it straight at the keeper.
Yeah, it's her weaker side, her left side, but good to see she's got the confidence to get the shot off on her left side, and good hold-up play and link-up play from Kerry Beattie there.
They will want to try and bring about a bit more of that. Kept herself onside there. Willis should be pointed out as well. It took Portugal until the second half to score here in April, so they've been a tough team to break down, Malta. Everybody in the group has found that, and even the runaway team in Portugal, no exception.
No, you can see how well organised they are, and you know, they're all working together defensively and not giving many opportunities away for Northern Ireland.
Just the 5 goals conceded after 4 games. It is, well, now 6 of course with tonight's, but still fewer than Northern Ireland and Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's in front of goal that they have struggled most, with just the 1 in the campaign thus far. Northern Ireland making it their job to ensure that it stays that way. at the close of proceedings tonight. High looking for the first time ball, just blocked off in her pass. And that's off the arm of the forward. Northern Ireland will have a reprieve in the form of a free kick. Nice in her veins. A few palpitations in the commentary position.
Yeah, I think she definitely needed to move that one a lot quicker than she did.
Well, I'm talking about goals, 71 goals in this current Northern Ireland squad. And you look at the bench and the amount of goals on it. Simone McGill and Lauren Wade alone have contributed 37 of them.
Yeah, it's a huge chunk of goals, not to be in your starting 11, but it's an opportunity for other players to step up and put their name on the score sheet.
Well, the manager hasn't been shy in talking about giving players a chance, and certainly a youthful look to the team, which is very encouraging.
Yeah, but it's good to see those young players coming in and getting opportunities now. You know, there's the front four there. I think they're all kind of 23 and under. So good to see them getting an opportunity. And as I say, it's their opportunity to stake their claim to be in the starting 11. You know, going forward more consistently.
Very marginal offside decision there, but the correct one. Just a little beyond Casey High, and the Maltese attacker coming back from an offside position there, right in front of the assistant official.
Cushieri's looking for a free kick there.
She has been a little irritated tonight by a few of the decisions, but I can't say that the Turkish officials have got much wrong.
No, there hasn't been many major calls for them to make yet.
No messing around there with the clearance. Borg just teasing the ball away from Halliday. McKenna. Well, they were trying to cut her off. Still, she continues her run, hoping for movement in the middle and winning the corner off Lipman, who did well to keep up with her. Not an easy thing to do.
No, definitely not. Not when Rebecca McKenna's in full flight. She's hard to track down, but Lipman's done well to match her run there and to get the block in and force the corner for Northern Ireland.
12 years her senior, Emma Lipman, but charging back to close off that chance of a pass. Northern Ireland hoping to continue to apply the pressure here from the corner. Will they have a good delivery into the box? You can see some of the key protagonists lingering around the area. Another deep delivery in. Well, a few appeals there, but I think it was over as Abair moved her hand towards it. Certainly was.
Yeah, just hit the other side of the crossbar and went over.
Oh, lovely touch. And she's gone for the spectacular. Tell you what, after a first touch like that, you can do what you want, really.
Yeah.
Lovely bit of play from Kaylee Willis.
Yeah, great first touch, and it's worth an effort. If Jackie's off her line, you may as well have a go.
She was playing in the third tier of Italian football, recently with Venezia, previously with Hellas Verona as well.
Again, Northern Ireland giving the ball away from a goal kick there. It's been a consistent theme through the game and something that they'll be looking to improve on.
And something that you maybe want the players on the pitch to address. It doesn't need to be the manager making that call, does it?
No, it's up to the players on the pitch to find solutions. You know, they have the tools, and Tanya talks about her principles, and that's one of her principles, to look to keep a hold of the ball and build through the thirds. But for some reason tonight, it seems to be a bit of a problem area for them.
Well, that had just gone over the line, and I do think that Borg knew that as well. A wry smile from her. We've been keeping an eye across the other game in the group, Bosnia and Herzegovina against Portugal. Only a couple of minutes left in that one and still scoreless. I think many people expected Portugal to go to Bosnia and win. Well, maybe think about that in a moment as we see what can emerge here. Well, unfortunately for Northern Ireland, nothing, as the flag has gone up against Kerry Beattie, but that was a really promising move that almost brought about a reward.
Yeah, it was a good step from the Malta defenders there to play Kerry offside, but again, good link up, and from the two Kerrys looking to find each other, and they've been good in the second half in terms of linking up play and trying to get opportunities and goal.
Portugal, by avoiding defeat of 3 goals or more, which I don't think many would have expected to happen under any circumstances really, are going to be promoted. They've already confirmed their place in the playoffs. Bosnia, as things stand, are heading for the playoffs as well, as are Northern Ireland.
Yeah, not a result that you probably would have picked before tonight for that game. If it finishes how it currently is sitting at 0-0, Bosnia are traditionally a hard team to go and to beat away there. I know we lost ourselves there many years ago. You know, they're a strong physical side, and Portugal have been flawless so far in the campaign, so they've done well to hold them out for as long as they have so far, and potentially for the whole game.
Northern Ireland won 3-1 in April out in Zenica. Goals from Wade and McGill amongst them, but it'll be interesting to see how things go on Tuesday in Belfast. Remember, we have coverage of that game for you. You can watch it on the iPlayer and the BBC Sport website. Megan Bell with the other goal in that 3-1 win, of course. Have Northern Ireland another gear to go up as they seek to put this game beyond doubt. High with the snap, control and cross. Halliday. Keep a hold of the ball. Last touch coming off Kerry Beattie there. Despite her appeals, they've fallen on deaf ears.
Yeah, it's gone a bit flat at the moment in terms of tempo in the game, so it'll be interesting to see if either team opts to make some changes into the second half and add a bit more energy to their performance.
Both managers pacing their technical areas. As we know, things can so quickly change, so even with a lot more of the ball, Northern Ireland can't rest on their laurels. BD. Not the pass she was hoping for. Shauna Zamet. Able to pick out Saeed. Dangerous delivery. Burns is coming. And that's good goalkeeping. Helping out her defenders. And not waiting for the call as well, which can often be the downfall.
No, good proactive goalkeeping from Jackie there to take the initiative and take the matter into her own hands and come and deal with it. It's what you want to see as a defender.
And just a little indication of the danger Saeed can pose. She hasn't been able to get forward too many times, but she is their preferred set piece taker, and she can put a very good cross into the box. Northern Ireland's defence haven't been exposed to too many of them in this match. That had gone out over the line of the far side.
Looks like potentially Northern Ireland are ready and somebody to come on there. I think it maybe looks like Jolie Andrews that's being spoken to at the moment.
It is that sort of time that managers tend to think about it. Standing up there at the moment, Andrews, and appear to be getting herself ready. One of 3 players in the squad who have secured a transfer to full-time football, and Hearts.
Yeah, great move for Jolie, along with Kerry and Lauren, and it probably will help that the 3 of them are going together. It's Jolie's first experience of playing outside of Northern Ireland, and her and Kerry are really close friends, and obviously they've played at Glentoran with Lauren for many years as well, so you know that should probably help her settle into a full-time training environment. And again for Kerry, I know she struggled the last time she was away, so that'll probably help, you know, that the 3 of them are there together, and a great opportunity. And Hearts seem to be investing a lot of money into the women's game, and I've seen they've made, I think it's 11 signings so far this summer, so they're obviously looking to go and have an impact on the SWPL going forward this season.
McDaniel, Howe just checked inside. She wasn't going to let Ferrugia off easy. Jolie Andrews biding her time before she's introduced. They've been trying to enjoy themselves whilst out there as well. Naturally, all the training and prep comes with it, but I did laugh that on social media they set the players a little challenge. Did you see this, Julie?
Yes, I did.
Go and take the best photographs, and Jolie Andrews, I think, was the clear winner in the end. She basically ran into every establishment she could and said, "Can I pretend to work here?"
Yep, she looked to be doing a tour of the hotel and in the bar, in the restaurant, in the cafe, helping with the cleaning services as well. She seemed to be doing a bit of everything, so great ingenuity from Jolie to show her creative side in that photo shoot.
Metaphor for the type of player she is. She can do it all.
I think I saw one of the media guys saying how tired out he was running after Jolie, trying to keep up with her doing the challenge.
Well, that's their fault for coming up with it, isn't it, really?
Yep, that's what they get.
Still we wait for the change to be made. 21 minutes plus change left. Northern Ireland with a slender advantage. Maria Farrugia just seemed to get stuck under the feet there of Borg. Northern Ireland happy to see that, because it was looking like a good move.
Yeah, they got into a really good position there, and the balls just got caught under their feet and couldn't get a shot off.
Plenty of energy left in the battery of Casey Howe. Good play by Holloway. Persistence paying off. Corner earned. And change now forthcoming. And it's going to be Louise McDaniel who heads off to allow Jolie Andrews to enter the picture.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's probably just going to be a straight swap. They're similar positions.
Finished 0-0 in the end in the other game in the group. So Portugal held by Bosnia and Herzegovina. Win for Northern Ireland would see them level on points with Bosnia before they meet on Tuesday.
Yeah, that'll just put even more pressure on that game. I know that was already going to kind of be a winner takes all anyway, but now with Bosnia getting the point tonight, it means Northern Ireland will have to win on Tuesday, provided that the scoreline stays the same as tonight as well.
Northern Ireland at home on Tuesday, remember, so that will give them, they would hope, a bit of an edge. And the rankings would point to it as well. Northern Ireland would be expected to get the better of Bosnia, but as Portugal have proven tonight, there's what you want to happen, and then there's what happens in this sport.
Yep, that's why the rankings are there as a guide, but it depends what team that turns up on the night, you know, what type of performance they're able to put in, and that's a great result for Bosnia to hold Portugal at home. And, you know, they'll be looking to capitalise on that going into Tuesday night.
Shauna Zammit with the hands in the air, the universal symbol of, I didn't really mean it, as the free kick was given against her. Cooling break in effect again here, just as we had in the first half. I'm sure one or two will be very pleased to have it now. Limbs getting weary in the warm conditions on the island of Malta.
Yeah, the sun's gone down, but I'd imagine it's still quite stuffy, especially when you're on the pitch running about.
Well, before the game tonight, we were having a chat, and it's hard to believe it's a couple of years on from the Euros and that goal that you scored. But the heat in Southampton then, you know, as we would say, would have killed you, basically. It was horrible, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was crazy temperatures for the whole time that we were in Southampton. I think before we played Austria, there was a temperature taken at pitch side, and it was 41 degrees, which is obviously not temperatures that we're anywhere used to in Northern Ireland, especially not this summer. So, you know, the girls have been out in Malta for the past week since last Sunday evening. They've travelled across there to help them acclimatise to the heat, so hopefully that's helped them to deal with those conditions.
Just a reminder, our coverage on Tuesday starting at 5:45 on the iPlayer and the BBC Sport website. Northern Ireland's final group game, and they will be hoping to end the league phase in style. It'll be interesting as well to see what the team selection is, because, you know, a bit of a change here, 4 changes from the last time out made by the manager, and how many of those have done enough to earn or at least keep their place in the team. Tanya Oxtoby keeps us all guessing with their team selection, so it's not always a reflection on the players. I should hasten to point that out.
Yeah, I think different players are more suited to different opposition, and every Northern Ireland starting 11 that is coming out within since Tanya's taken over has always had changes. Probably 3-4 changes of every team, and it'll be interesting to see on Tuesday what team she decides to go with then.
McParlin, I think, just wanted Andrews to go there. A bit of a miscommunication from the pair of them. And Rafferty doing what any good defender would do there and just stepping across the run. That's a subtle thing, but it is its own art form.
Absolutely.
On the ball here, the captain. Caldwell trying to cushion it, able to get her head to the pass that was meant to lift over her. Northern Ireland with just the one change used so far. High. Well, she's being pulled that little bit there, but the Malta captain's not going to be able to keep up with her that way. Make a run inside and try and stop her getting there. Bit of experience showing. And then Holloway just trying to rush it and be the hero when she probably didn't need to.
Yeah, I think we just need a bit more composure once we get into the box or into that final third. Casey's done excellently there to cause Malta problems and pull the ball back, but Rebecca Holloway just needs to show a bit more composure in those areas.
Andrews, lovely reverse pass, and a chance here for number 2, and a chance that just escapes them. And you can see on her face, Halliday already thinking back to the decision. Could I have taken the shot on here? How did that touch get away from me? It's a let off for Malta.
Yeah, I think Kerry will be extremely disappointed with that, and she possibly could have gone down as well. She's opted to stay on her feet and didn't give the referee a decision to make.
And it starts with that really nice pass, and then Beattie piercing the defence. Almost. But not quite. And yes, great honesty there, not to dangle a leg in. We've all become very cynical with football these days, haven't we?
Yeah, we've seen penalties given for less than that in the men's Euros at the moment.
Smart pass that from Halliday. Caldwell, good run. Just looking there to see had there been a touch. There had not. So it is a goal kick. Malta warming some players up at the moment. That nearly cost them a goal. That's very quickly seized upon by Northern Ireland. They've got the throw in.
Yeah, really good pressure being applied there from Kerry Beattie, leading the line and getting pressure and forcing the throw in.
Almost 70 minutes since that opening goal was scored in bizarre circumstances. If you've joined us late, you can watch it back on our social media platforms. A back pass from a long way out from Lipman that evaded our goalkeeper, who wasn't quite where the defender thought she would be. And speaking of socials, you can of course get involved. Let us know your thoughts on the match and the campaign at BBC Sport and I, and use the hashtag BBC Football. So far, so good for Northern Ireland. "11 minutes away from confirming their place in the playoffs." Bit more urgency in their attack as well. McKenna's delivery, and there is the goal that will seal Northern Ireland's spot in the playoffs. And they rush to hug her. Kerry Beattie with a brilliant header puts an exclamation point on this result.
Yeah, excellent delivery from Rebecca McKenna there, and Kerry Beattie where she always is and around the 6-yard box, causing problems for defenders, and excellent header into the bottom corner.
Kerry Beattie's 4th goal for her country offers breathing space. Like any good forward, she took up a position in the box, she got away from her marker, and she guided her header beyond the despairing keeper. Malta 0, Northern Ireland 2. Well, that has understandably dampened the spirits of Malta, whose manager Manuela Tessa just shakes her head and plonks herself in her seat.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed with that goal, especially being a defender herself. You know, Kerry Beattie's a central striker there, and she's run into the middle of the 6-yard box completely unmarked, so she'll not be happy to concede a goal like that. But brilliant play from Rebecca McKenna and a great finish from Kerry.
Well, there might be more in store. Holiday ricocheting around Beattie. Confidence is high after her goal. Howe had it stolen away from her. But Northern Ireland retain possession. And a credit to them as well, despite the fact that we were saying 1 goal, anything can happen. They didn't look nervous. They have been very composed.
Yeah, they've been confident in possession, and
sorry to cut across you, but away she goes. Andrews, lovely play. Caldwell wanted to tee up high.
Yeah, they're queuing up there to get in the box. But yeah, good confident play from Northern Ireland. You know, as you said, they've shown composure there in the second half, just to keep the ball and be patient and to try and move Malta. And you know, Kerry Beattie's taking her opportunity whenever it's presented itself.
Well, not for the first time tonight. Somebody with a number 4 on their backs done one of those, but Jackie Byrne's happy to see it not go between her sticks. Willis getting it to Lucia. Malta understandably having come under the cosh and succumbed to a second goal. Just want a few touches of the ball here themselves to try and feel their way back into it. With just 1 goal in these qualifiers, it's a mammoth ask of them to retrieve anything from this game with 7 minutes remaining.
Yeah, they haven't really looked, bar those opening maybe 10-15 minutes, they haven't looked like scoring really in tonight's game. And you know, they've been okay in their build up, and they've kept the ball well, but they haven't been able to trouble Jackie Byrne overly in the game.
Underneath it all, she'll be quite pleased. Andrews, it's another fine pass. Beattie knew where she wanted her teammates to be. They just weren't quite there on time.
Yeah, good ball across from Kerry, but the midfielders just hadn't filled the space quick enough.
Well, an indication as to who we're going to see in a moment. Valentina Rapa and Emma Schwereb are the players who have taken their bibs off. They're ready to go and making haste to the halfway line so that that change can happen. And Northern Ireland are going to make a couple of their own, as we can see. Danielle Maxwell and Lauren Wade ready to try and make an impact with 5 minutes to go. Maxine Ferrugia as well there in the number 7, just 17 years of age, her first call up to the senior panel, so I'm sure a whole range of emotions going through her mind at the moment as she is about to become a senior international footballer. That'll be a lovely moment for her.
Yeah, always a special moment to make your debut, especially for somebody so young at 17 years old.
So Maxwell for Halliday. And the fourth official just double checking with Laura Wade. Does that all look okay to you? Before she holds up the number of Casey Howe, who gets a warm round of applause from some of the Northern Ireland fans and indeed her international colleagues too. Willis comes off as Ferrugia comes on for her first taste of senior international football on the books of Sampdoria, where she's been playing at under 17s. Lipman, whose unfortunate own goal gave Northern Ireland an early lead, coming off. And Charlene Zamet as well on her 98th cap is the third and final player of that flurry of subs to head off the pitch. Emma Schwereb, who's on, also just back after a spell out injured, so she'll be very pleased to be back in the picture. And Rapa happy to pass up her first touch, just beckoning her goalkeeper to come and pick the ball up.
Yeah, it looked like the goalkeeper wasn't going to come there for a moment.
Well, Rapa only 22, but I get the impression that she knows what she wants and she's not shy in asking for it. Only on and instructing her keeper. That was a little scrappy, but ultimately well dealt with. Kusheri. Dugdale quietly gone about her business, hasn't she? She's won almost every battle she's been in.
Yeah, she's done well in there. It's not a conventional position for Rachel to be playing in centre back. She's usually playing as a full back, but she's adapted well and dealt with anything that she's had to deal with in there.
Good vision by Burns. Wade off on her first sprint. Was a bit of a thankless task on that occasion. Malta being squeezed into the corner. Nice footwork by the teenager, Ferrugia. Saeed. Maxwell did well with the first challenge, trying to prevent this going out from a throw-in. Last touch was off her. Did just that and gets her team the throw-in.
Again, good play from Malta there to switch the ball from one side to the other and play through their midfield, but once they get into the wide area they're struggling to get through Northern Ireland, and great defending from Daniel Maxwell there to use your body and then to pass the ball on and move the ball up the pitch.
Been a few months from her last international involvement. Was involved in the playoffs against Montenegro back in February. Pleased to be on here in these closing stages. Just how important do you think that result, staying in League B, has been for Northern Ireland when you look at how it's obviously impacted things?
Yeah, I think it was crucial for Northern Ireland to stay in League B. Based on form over the last few years, Northern Ireland would see themselves as at least a B ranked side, and it was crucial that we stayed in mixing around with those teams, and it should make it slightly easier in terms of the playoff draw, but by no means will it be easy, and still we're relying on Tuesday's result to see whether Northern Ireland are going to be seeded or not. So the difference with being relegated into the C League is, yes, you may finish top of your group, but then you're going to end up playing a first round playoff against an A-League nation, which would be very difficult.
Confirmation of that booking to Shwereb, just on and making herself known. Just to let you know about an early goal in the game between England and the Republic of Ireland. England 1-0 up there. Republic of Ireland finding League A very difficult, and quite frankly, who wouldn't?
Yeah, again, it shows the gulf in class between those top A-League nations and those in the B-League, and those that are trying to bridge that gap. The Republic were very dominant in our B-League group in the Nations League, and they've gone up into the A-League, and yes, they're an extremely tough group with England, France and Sweden, but so far haven't been able to get any points from any of those games so far, and it just shows how difficult it is to bridge that gap.
We have played one of the 3 allocated additional minutes, as Gabriela Zara was the player introduced just a moment ago when I was bringing you up to date with the latest scores, as Kusheri made her way off. Andrews, Caldwell, just let it get away from her a little bit there. Northern Ireland seeing it out now. They know the job is done. And I'm sure we'll see some happy scenes upon the full-time whistle. And pleasing too for Tanya Ox to be, when you come in, with a country that has just been at the Euros, and your job is to try and get them closer to getting back there, if not indeed reach it again. You don't want to fall short.
No, and I know that's what she said is her targets, to qualify for the next Euros and the next World Cup. And yes, Northern Ireland are still in the mix at the moment with tonight's result, and we'll need another good performance and result on Tuesday to hopefully end up in a seeded position.
When the draw was made for the group, is it fair to say a lot of people would have said the playoffs is the minimum expectation?
Based on the current rankings, yes, but as we've spoken about earlier, rankings are only a guide, and it's shown that in the Bosnia and Portugal result tonight, that you still need to turn up and you need to put in a good performance, and no team's going to be a walkover at this level of international football at this stage, and Northern Ireland have had to grind out the result tonight, and have grown more confident as the second half's gone on, and there's only really looked to be one team in the game.
Presumably the last couple of Maltese substitutes really weren't happy being on the bench for so long, because they've come on and managed to get themselves booked. Shwereb a few moments ago, and now Farrugia as well. We are playing at the referee's discretion at this stage. Sent into the centre. Wade. Oh, just for a moment that had us all wondering. That is the last chance of the match. Northern Ireland have sealed passage through to the playoff stage for Euro 2025. The draw will be done next week. They still have one game left in the group to play. That's on Tuesday. But giving us the thoughts at the full-time whistle, Julie Nelson.
Yeah, Northern Ireland will be pleased with that performance, and more so the scoreline in terms of getting a 2-0 win away from home. As I've just said, it's not always an easy task in international football, and they've secured their playoff spot now, but their full focus will turn on to Tuesday and making sure that they finish the job and get another 3 points on Tuesday.
Malta's relegation confirmed. Northern Ireland coming away with the 3 points that they required. Kerry Beattie rubber stomping it with her second half goal after an own goal had put Northern Ireland in front. It is full time here at Centenary Stadium. The score, Malta 0, Northern Ireland 2. From Julie Nelson and myself and the rest of the team, it's good night.